Hiya, Matt Baker here with the Petcast. Now, this is a podcast all about pets, so I am towing my caravan as a mobile studio all around the country to meet famous people and not just talk about their pets, but to meet their pets as well. This week, I have towed the Petcast caravan to Dorset to meet one of Britain's best-loved actors, presenters and authors. I am talking about Martin Clunes. Now, I'm very excited to be here on his farm because we've spoken many times in the past about this place, but I've never had the chance to visit. So let's welcome to the Petcast this week, Martin Clunes and his dogs. Martin, in you come. Have a sit across there. Look, this is Bob, is it?
This is Bob Jackson.
Steady.
Desperate.
There you go. There's a good lad. So, Martin, welcome to the Petcast caravan.
Thank you. Thank you.
What a lovely welcome we've got here. What a gorgeous little face. So we've got. I mean, they're quite big terriers.
They're leggy, aren't they?
They're leggy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Leggy,
So
spotty.
you've got a beautiful white body, and then you've got a nice patch on the left-hand side of your head, John. There you go, John. Yes.
Jesus,
So we've
John.
got tan. There you go.
Dignity. John, look at Murray and Bob Jackson.
There you, so I'm going to give a treat to Bob Jackson, who's a beautiful sort of golden cocker spaniel. Aren't you gorgeous? And then you are beautiful. And then we've got Murray on the floor, who's very patient, with one brown ear and a mottled body, a nice white. And I tell you what, they're strong as well. I do a lot of running, these two.
Oh, so much running.
That is very
He's
obvious,
so
Martin.
fast. John is so fast.
Well, may I say, Martin, it's an absolute joy to visit you here because we've spoken about this place
I know.
many times
I'm
over
thrilled
the
to
years.
have you here. I really am, yeah.
And I mean, it is absolutely as I imagined, you know, the way you've described it over the years and the things you talk about and the stuff that you get up to here.
Yeah.
And it's absolutely beautiful.
It is lovely, isn't it? We're crazy lucky.
Yeah.
It's not. I don't think it's great for farming. It's too hilly and, you know.
But
stuffy.
great for what you want to do with it. And I think that's it. I mean, you get a sense here that this is it for you. This is your forever place.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, it takes some running.
Yeah.
But I'd love it. Yeah. My remains will go up on that hill.
Well, at the top there.
Just under the big monument. Yeah. Because they'll want to come, Matt.
Absolutely. I mean, you are living a dream, I guess, that, you know, has evolved over the years, because I don't know about your very early life, but are you part of farming stock?
No.
Are you
No, my dad was an actor. My mother an antique dealer. No, we lived on the edge of Wimbledon Common. That was as leafy as we got.
Yeah.
But like super lucky to live there. It was a lovely place to grow up.
Yeah.
Tree climbing and stuff and dogs and things. My dad died when I was 8 and we had cats. He was very attached to cats and the cats were him. And my sister sort of lobbied for a dog and we got a rescue dog. She sort of grew out of an interest and wasn't around there much. And I sort of grew into this it was a little white dog called Jemima, a sort of Bitzer Terrier type thing. Not a million miles away, quite leggy.
Yeah.
Bit of whippet in her. And she sort of did become a buddy and I enjoyed her company. And then, but I was quite young then. And then one thing that I did realise, and it was only in writing my last book, which was Meetings with Remarkable Animals, about animals that have done something and made a name for themselves. But as this sort of massive bedwetting 9-year-old sent to boarding school, not cherished in a dormitory, quite smelly, and separated off in a room of my own, the biology teacher, Mr. Huggett, gave me the responsibility of letting the animals out and putting them away again at night. And in the mornings I'd go out, there was everything would go into one shed. There were turkeys, hens, a donkey, a sheep sometimes, and stuff. And that was my... And I only realised it when I was thinking again about, you know, stuff.
Yeah.
Doing the book, that what a good idea that was of that man to give me that responsibility, and how those moments of just me and some animals are still with me whenever the thing I loved about Jim and about these guys is if I'm out doing something on the farm, they're right there with me, and that I love that.
Yeah. And that feeling of responsibility, I guess, that you relished because of those,
I suppose so.
At a young age, you know, it's magic to think that these animals need my help to get out. If I don't open the gate, they're not going to go out there and give them their breakfast and feed them.
Yes, that's true. Yeah. But it's funny that those just those solitary moments, that time which I cherish now with the animals, just alone, or just doing stuff with Patrick, hanging out with him, and
your beautiful Clydesdale.
Yeah,
5 years old. We'll get to him very shortly. So animals then, as you were growing up through your teenage years, then if you were sort of boarding school and what have you, weren't a huge part, but they were.
I do remember when I left after it was a prep school, boarding school, and went to a day school, and then there was one. My mum would shut her shop twice a week and go off buying antiques, and there was one. I was off school sick with just me and Jemima, and I don't know what I was thinking of, but I took her to Harrods.
Right.
We walked across Wimbledon Common, got the 93 bus down to the station, got the tube up to Knightsbridge, and went to Harrods, where they say no dogs, no dogs, unless it's a handbag dog. So I had to carry her, and she was like, not that happy. And we looked at the fountain pens, and then went home.
Magic. That sense of adventure, that companionship as well, though. You obviously felt like old enough to be able to do that.
Yes. But then it came when we first moved to Dorset, 30 odd years ago, I guess now, over the way in a little village. I'd go off in my Volkswagen Combi camper van to go and buy wood from the wood shop or go and do things. And it was when everything was new, with Mary Elizabeth, our first Cocker Spaniel, and it would be me and her. We'd share a pasty on the way home.
Did you move down here for space and to buy land?
No. When we first moved, it was the last thing we wanted, was anything like a farm or a building that needed any work on it. We just wanted, and we had this lovely Georgian vicarage in a village called Powerstock, which is now a friend of ours lives in, which is nice.
Yeah.
But really lovely, happy house. Mm-hmm. But then when Emily was born, we'd been looking for years for just a field to rent to put a pony in for Emily. Right. And it never came
your
up.
daughter then?
Yeah. And then Philippa came for a walk, for some friends of mine lived over the hill, and they went for a walk after. You can't see this place from any road, and vice versa. And they'd come for a walk, and she said, I saw this amazing house in the middle of nowhere. You just wouldn't know there'd be a house there. And I was like, oh, whatever. I was out in the country when she was telling me about it. And then about 6 months later, we were there together having lunch, and they said, we think she might be going to sell. So we just came straight up and, bought it. And that was, a little field would have done. There's 105 acres we bought. And then I bought 30 more, the Fairfields. Before we moved in, they came up for sale. And having had no adjacent land come up for sale all those years looking for it, it was too good to miss. And actually, it was a really good price for that land.
And was the idea to become farmers then? I mean, what were you going to do with the land? What was your plan?
Yeah, it wasn't farmed, but that was the plan. Yeah,
you were right.
Yeah. So we started off doing the twice lambing, and all of that.
Yeah, full on. What did you start with? What breed did you go for?
A Pol Dorset.
Dorset's, all right, okay.
Yes.
Wow. I mean, there's starting farming, and then there's like going.
Yes, I know, but I did love it.
How long did that last with the sheep?
We did that for about 5 or 6 years, and I thought we could make the land wash its face, and we couldn't. Because I have to go away to work to support, and when we were doing Doc Martin, both of us were down in Cornwall, because Philippa produced it, and so it was hard. But I'd been thinking about just maybe trying to find a way of cutting a track somewhere that we could ride on or make some of this hilly land useful. And then I'd sort of asked a local road builder who'd kind of drawn a blank and couldn't quite see what I was on about. And this young guy came through, and he came and visited us, and I said, "What about this and what about this?" And then he instantly came back. There were diagrams. There were this. So here's this grid system, whatever.
Yeah.
And off we went. And it was like, great. And because we were doing Doc Martin, there was an income that could support this.
Yeah.
It seriously became the best thing we ever did.
Yeah.
Because it's walked on, ridden on, great for blind dogs. They can tell when they're on it or off it. They don't need to go on the lead.
Yeah.
It's just everything.
Got a three and a half kilometre track all the way around the outside, really, around the perimeter of the farm.
Sort of,
And then as you go up there and look down, certainly when you're up the top of the hill, I mean, I have to say this, Martin took us for a little drive before we sat down to record this, and the views are breathtaking, aren't they, when you're up at the top there? You get to almost look right inside of your land and see...
Well, because we're sort of in our own coombe.
Yeah.
So up the top there, you do. And the helicopters and all, they like to come and do a Blade Runner.
Do they?
Yeah.
You're like a target for target practice, are you? As they come
They
down
see the edge of the downs and then they swoop on and out to sea. Yeah.
Wow. Let me get you. Do you want another little treat in there, John? Hey, you do. You want one, don't you? You've been such a good boy.
John,
hang on.
Manners maketh terrier.
You need to. What's your? We should hide this, John, shouldn't we? Right now, are you going to be a good boy?
You see what we're up against, don't you? But we do have recall on them.
Spirited,
mental, but joy, dear. Constant joy.
So, what's the story with these two down here? These two are related, aren't they? And they're quite well known.
They're sort of, John and Murray.
Yeah.
There are, it's a long story. So we used to be a band of 5. And Jim was like my right-hand man.
Yes.
And Penelope Jennifer was a Jackawawa we picked up in Cornwall, a sort of freak. And then we had Bob Jackson and his mother, Heidi. And we had a retired guide dog called Laura. Yeah. For 2 years. Yeah. Her last 2, but it was such a joy. So with no terriers on the plot, just the 2 blind cockers and Laura. Yeah. The rest of the animal kingdom just took the mickey. The deer were coming in the garden, eating the roses and the ivies and things. Yeah. Badgers doing what badgers do, digging up and crapping in them. The fox took the hens. The word was out. There's no terriers on the plot. So Philippa was on the train reading Horse and Hound, as you do, one Monday, and she sent me a photo of an ad in the back that just said, Jack Russell puppies for sale, Dorset. It came back with these 2 on the Wednesday, and then discovered the mistake we'd made, basically.
So John and Murray. So you've written a little book about these.
I have written a book because when the book I did before, the stories of John and Murray and the nightmares we were having with them seemed to pique the interest of the people on the book tour. Right, so Penguin said you should do a book about John and Murray because it has been an almighty journey. Has it? Yeah.
And why were they so difficult initially?
So the first thing we did, because we're big believers in puppy class, so that they get to socialise and have all those, have a little row and get over it and all of that. Yeah. And so I called up this lady and would sign them on, and she said, "Oh, you've got from the same litter, are they?" And she said, "Do look out for littermate syndrome,
where they get so connected to each other that the outside world really doesn't." Yeah.
Yes, amongst other. I mean, it can go one way or the other. You can get terrible, life-threatening. Like to death fights. Yeah. And we take them to puppy class, and they would just mental. And anyway, Philippa found this lady who said, "Yes, I can sort you out." So we went down to see her in Devon with the 2 dogs, and she could see the challenges. And what was great was she never did that eye-rolling kind of, "Oh, what have you done? You idiots don't know what I..." Do you know what I mean? That kind of patronage. Yeah. She said, "No, don't you worry." She said, "You'll get what you want." Yeah. And was positive. Yeah. But for 6 weeks, 4 training sessions every day, each dog independently, of the most moronic, repetitive, all of that.
And they got it.
But we got there. Yeah. We got there thinking we hadn't got there. And then suddenly, that's another journey, is learning to realise it has worked. Yeah. And relaxing.
Absolutely. Yeah. And just baby steps, and not trying think it's all going to happen in one session, because it isn't.
No. But they're such a source of joy now. They're not a source of... And I was away during the training. I was working on Wuthering Heights, sort of in 2 or 3 day blocks over that period. Yeah. Which, to leave one person to do 8 sessions a day.
Philippa did that, did she?
Yes. Wow. Yeah. Well, I did a few days on my own as well. But she, because I was doing that. It was a bit. Wow. Yeah.
So, how old were you when you started riding?
I did a little bit when my sister sort of did a bit when we lived in Wimbledon growing up. But I think there was a bit of a pony trek sort of thing.
Right. So you had a flavour.
I'd had a taster, but I wasn't hooked. I wasn't desperate. Yeah. But obviously with Philippa and Emily, we had a little house in Putney when she was first born. Yeah. And we'd go to Richmond Park, and there was a little fat Shetland called Scooby-Doo, who must have been in his 40s then. and must have launched 1 million careers.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
And the deal was that the young girl who was Emily sweeping, who was Philippa sweeping the yard when she was a child, would lead the child out into the park with the parents not far behind, observing, and then lead it back. And that was Emily. And then off she went, and then a neighbour would let her sit on a horse, or we'd have to go and visit neighbours' horses and give them carrots until the right pony came up at the right time, and we got her. But we still didn't have any land then when we got that pony. It was in livery at Kingston Moorwood, where Philippa kept her. Philippa by then had got a mare and was doing dressage, which is her thing. Yeah, and I was just quite happily part of the support team. And at Kingston Moorwood, there was this big old horse called Chester. And people were always saying, you know, if Martin wanted a horse, this would be great for him. And I was like, you know what? I'd know if I wanted a horse, thanks. Yeah. And then I did a job in New Zealand, a TV film in which I had to ride a horse for a bit. So we all went out there anyway. And before filming started, there was a Meet the Horse Day. Right. So obviously the girls came too. Yeah. And the stables were down by the beach where they filmed The Piano. You know that Kiwi film? Yeah. And off we all went together. And it was like suddenly, I see, we can do this together. Wow. And I remember saying from horseback, yelling up to Philippa, saying, call Anne and tell her we'll take Chester. And the rest is history. And now they wouldn't be seen out dead with me. Emily's she's an inventor. Philippa does dressage and I ride cart horses.
I love that though. And the cart horses, then they go all the way around this top route that you've got this track, right?
Ronnie and Bruce did, yeah.
Wow. And what was that feeling like?
I've got a beautiful German bespoke wagonette that they pulled, which Patrick will pull as a single, but only on the flat. Right. But but Ronnie and Bruce used to drag me up there.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
And was that thought yours about heavy horses?
So when we made a program about horses called Horsepower, and I was going all around the world filming with Mustangs and things and whatever, and everywhere we went there was this shape in the background, because Clydesdales are a really healthy breed in the States because of Budweiser and all of that shenanigans, and it was never the horse we were filming with, but I just love that shape of that feathered leg and that big bum and the huge neck. And the sort of honesty and something about when you get a good one, and there's still, like Bruce and Patrick, I take them to the hospice. And they go in the garden there and people come out, they just want to reach out and touch them. And they just eat their lawn. They love it. They love it. Yeah. Bruce is he's been a few times. Yeah. But I just kept seeing this. And when it was time to retire Chester, I sort of thought, well, why didn't I look into Clydesdales? And I'd filmed with this vet in Scotland with a Clydesdale. And he just put me onto this guy, Ronnie Black, who was a breeder. And then we went up, we had a lovely weekend in Scotland when Emily was little. And we went to his farm just full of Clydesdales. And he'd earmarked one for me, and that was Bruce. He'd called it Martin, which was weird. And there was another one in it with it from the same sire, the same dad, who was from America, who was called American Ben Franklin and was magnificent stallion and had a really high-stepping sort of action to him. Yeah. And so I got them both. Wow. I called Martin, I called him Bruce, it was a good Scottish name. Yeah. And then Ronnie, his brother, I named him after the breeder, Ronnie, because he's really handsome Clydesdale, right? Yeah.
But all in, I mean, again, thinking back to your farming venture, you were all in with that and ran its course. But with the Clydesdale, I mean, they're not easy horses to have. I mean, obviously Philippa has experience, and with Emily on board as well, he had the help. But it's quite full on to get Clydesdales.
Yeah, and then start. So we made a film about heavy horses to include their training to work to pull carts.
So you did it all on TV,
and they went off. They went off to a guy called Robert Sampson, who has Percherons down the road. And so we filmed with them their lessons and me starting driving with them and them starting in amongst with going to America and seeing the Budweiser Clydesdales and other working horses in France and stuff and all of that. Yeah. But with Patrick, we've done it ourselves here. With a lot of support, it's a very the heavy community.
But again, a lot of that stuff is you learning as well. Yes. Because I mean, with the horses, that they're bred to do that job, and they'll go and they'll be in their element. But
absolutely.
if you can't read the signs correctly,
yes,
and you can end up in a bit of.
And I keep thinking that they speak the same language that Ronnie and Bruce spoke because they were trained to speak that language. And of course, Patrick doesn't know that language. So I've got to put it on in rather than expecting it from him.
Yeah.
But that's the joy of it. That
course.
has been the joy.
And so exhilarating. I mean, gosh, I can't imagine that feeling that you get if you're, riding around the perimeter of your farm.
The first time we got a good trot coming back from the shed like that, he got his rhythm. He's got a really nice trot anyway.
Yeah. And I mean, it's hard to describe that energy that the Clydesdale has, but I mean, it's another level to horsing as well, isn't it?
It's a slow, heavy, they're designed to walk all day, really.
Yeah.
But Patrick's kind of compact in a way. He's high, but he's got a shorter sort of spine, which makes him able to do more, and doing his dressage training with Chloe as well.
That's amazing.
Yeah, we'll put it all on him. Why not?
Yeah. Giving him plenty to do and actually satisfying him, because that's the point, isn't it? And I get that feeling a lot with your animals, is that they are satisfied with the life that they have here. Do you know what I mean? They don't see leads. They're out and about. They're just running around. So, and they're doing what they want to do naturally. I
worry sometimes that they might get bored if I'm doing what I'm doing too long that doesn't involve them. They'll sit on the buggy and wait. They've never run off yet.
Yeah.
Dangerous talk from the well, no, they have if a deer comes by, but I do, which is ridiculous, isn't it? It's not how it's supposed to be, but I like to keep them interested. I like, especially with Bob, I've felt for him losing his sight, because he's always been such an ebullient dog, and a cheerful dog.
Yeah. Where do they all live, Martin? Are they all in? Do they have the run of the house, or do they?
Yes, we're confined to just the yard.
But you literally
they never go up. They're not allowed upstairs.
Right.
Sometimes Bob will follow me up in the morning to brush my teeth, but he's special. But these guys know we don't want them upstairs. We've also got the night cat. Max.
Go on.
We had two cats. Lenny, who was too old to run, so he'd just whack at them when they were little. Right. And that dealt with that, which is the cat solution. But then Max would see them, a younger cat, and run, and then that's what you don't do to a Jack Russell.
How do they fit into the mixed cats? Are you a cat person? You're more of a cat person than a dog person, or are you?
I've never put them in a competition. They're all fine. Yeah.
Everything's welcome.
It's all good. Yeah, they're all interesting, aren't they? I've got sea monkeys in the kitchen.
What? What?
Yeah.
No.
I have, yes.
Have you?
Why? I've had them for years. I used to have them when we were on a long shoot in Doc Martin. They were like trailer pets.
Right.
I'd have my sea monkeys in the trailer and watch them grow and lay eggs and keep going. And I've just sort of kept it going ever since.
Right.
I clean them once a week. They take them on Apollo missions.
No.
They're a type of life form called cryptobiologic. They're cryptobiologic.
Right.
Which means that they can be dead and then come back to life. They come in a dry packet, you add water and they come to life, and they are brine shrimp of a kind.
Right.
And they took them into space to see the effects, as it was an easy experiment to have a tube of them. They'd lay eggs in space, but not on the moon. There you go.
Oh, my word. And what sort of conditions do you keep them in?
They don't want direct sunlight because stuff will grow in there.
Right.
But they like it bright.
Right.
And I pipette the dirt off the floor every week, feed them twice a week with a mini spoon.
Yeah.
Yes.
And do you do anything else with them, or do you just look at them?
I watch them. Sometimes I video them.
Yeah. just for your own amusement.
When I wrote the book, I was thinking of getting John and Murray an OnlyFans page, and then just taking their collars off really slowly to music. People would pay.
Yeah, well, these days with the internet, unbelievable, isn't it?
Come up, lad.
He knows where it's at, don't you? Eh? You do.
What dogs do you have?
So collie a mini Daxi, and then a beaver terrier and cairn terriers.
A beaver terrier?
Yeah, it started with the recessive genes of the Yorkshire Terrier, and then Havanese and Maltese go into it. To be honest with you, he's my mum's dog. And
is it mini?
He's a very small dog,
a mini dog.
Almost like a toy breed.
Okay,
yeah,
so really got my eye on a poodle though. Do you like a poodle?
You? Yeah.
I love a poodle.
What size poodle would you go for?
Well, I quite like the mini.
Yeah.
Although the standards, they're an event, aren't they? They are.
Yeah.
They are gorgeous.
Beautiful, yeah.
Really
Gabby Logan's
beautiful.
got a standard poodle.
Has she?
Yeah, it's an amazing dog. Yeah, beautiful. She got it for her birthday, actually. But the
That's open to misinterpretation, isn't it? Gabby Logan's got a standard poodle. Sounds like gossip. And if somebody gets the haircut, like a nod towards the Ponzi, they're kind of like, if they've done it in a laid back way. Do you know what I
do.
Yes.
I do. But incredibly clever dogs. I mean, obviously these days there's so many crosses with poodles.
Yes.
But to go for the straight
Proper
poodle,
one.
yeah, that is, yeah.
I've had a poodle calling for a while.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
I do like a mini.
Any more horses on the horizon, would you say? Are you...
I'd love a pair for Patrick, but realistically, I'm 64, you know. I've got it, and I'm loving working him as a single. He's young enough to keep me going till I'm 70.
Yeah. I mean, it's amazing. You were saying about Wuthering Heights earlier on, but you were riding weirdly inside. Just tell me the story about what happened there with
the whole of that set. It was quite magical, not what I'm used to at all. The audacity of the attempt to build Yorkshire, you know, it's like Gone with the Wind was the same. They built that inside. And this whole cyclorama around my set, because it was my house, and this crazy design. The cameraman could change the light on the sky to make it look, you know, to make it moody and everything.
Yeah.
It was a rain machine that was in operation pretty much every day, that it was always raining whenever we went out into the yard of the house.
Yeah.
But inside the house, you know, you get a sort of facade here and there. This was a house. They'd built it in a studio with bits of Yorkshire moor all around it. And then there were 3 sound stages, massive sound stages, where they shot the Green Lady film. What do you call it?
What is it?
What's the Green Lady? About witches.
Wicked.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, good.
That's where they shot these brand new sound stages.
Film.
And then the other set was,
word.
see now. The other set was all beautiful roses and gardens and planted grass and everything.
Yeah.
For the shiny side of the story that wasn't mine. Right. But yeah, they had this horse. Name I can't remember. But anyway, he was just hired to be a film horse who didn't really mind what was going on.
Yeah. Was it quite a big area, or was it quite that you were in? Because I would have thought if you were inside with a horse with all these cameras and rain machines and all of that going on, I imagine from a rider's perspective, I'd be a bit like, hang on a minute, is this all right for the horse?
Well, I know it was who was it? Dents were doing the horses, and I know those guys. And I'd been out. I'd met the horse at a yard, you know, and we'd both been put through our paces together.
Right.
And
how was that initially? Was it all right?
Oh, it was fine. I couldn't get him to move. I mean, that's why he's got the gig.
You were like, this horse is bomb-proof.
Great, perfect, yeah. Rubbish horse. That'll do nice. He would go when you asked him to, but not very fast.
But to be fair, from an actor's perspective, that's what you want, isn't it? Because if you're trying to, I don't know if you're good at remembering your lines or whatever, but you're focused on your job, not thinking, is this horse going to
Is this horse going to kill me? Yeah, no. Once I did a film years ago. I played Kristen Scott Thomas's husband in a film with Sam Neill, and Helena Bonham Carter was my lover. This film didn't really see the light of day.
Right.
It wasn't great, but there was a whole scene at the hunt when I was supposed to be some sort of stacked posh knob at the hunt, and they put me on this horse, and I couldn't make it stand still, so I kept flying out of the shot I was supposed to be. Go blah 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 blah. Oh God!
He's gone again.
Yeah. So I ended up
getting back in shot.
I ended up on a set of A-treads, ladder.
Yeah.
That sort of just keeping myself a little bit alive.
That's so funny. Brilliant.
And then and they had bloodhounds, and then they wanted to shoot a thing with the hunt setting off, and of course off the hunt set, and off my horse wanted to be the first horse, and I didn't have it. I wasn't really a rider at the time.
Yeah.
And I overtook the master of the hunt. Bad.
Did you?
Yeah. And I knew it was bad form, but I was nothing I could do it. So I tried to build it into my performance. So I go, get out of my way.
Did they keep it in?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. Oh my words.
Yes, the ultimate faux pas.
Yeah. But I mean, you've made a bit of a career, I guess, with working with animals too, because obviously with Doc Martin.
Oh,
and
Dodger.
And Dodger, I mean, not too dissimilar to these two, really, I suppose.
No. Yeah, Dodger was magic. Really magic. Yeah, he was. Yeah, that was a very happy.
Did you enjoy having him close when you were acting? I mean, because for me, like back in the day on Blue Peter, when I had Meg with me, my Blue Peter dog, I was never happier than when she was like this. And you've always got something to hold on to or stroke or whatever.
Yeah, and it draws the heat, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's why I took Jim on the one show. He did Loose Women, the one show. Yeah.
That's the other thing I feel for people who don't have dogs, because folk don't. As we get older, we don't very often play, do we? As we get older, and actually, a dog is a great excuse for us to be a kid again, and to be playing. And how often do you go out and throw a ball if you don't have a dog?
You're so right, man. You're so right. Yeah. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So they draw you into their ball game.
Yeah.
Emily comes home. She said, "You're just pieces in their game."
Yeah. But I think that's why I love dogs so much, because you can enjoy playing in life, which normally
that's really true.
And I mean, for you to live here as well and be all, with the stressful work that you might do, or any of the film sets that you go to, and that immediacy, certainly with telly, you need to get these takes done quick. What a place for you to reset and just sort of recharge.
Yeah, I'm very lucky. Very lucky.
Do you find it relaxing having this workload, or do you find it stressful?
No, I love it.
Do you?
I love it. Chuck a few dogs on the buggy and get out there and do it. Yeah. Pick a job.
For me personally, I mean, I'm dyslexic, so I don't spend hours and hours reading or sitting down. For me, I'm out doing stuff, working.
Same.
And for me, it makes you who you are, I suppose, as well.
Yeah, I think as a child, I needed to be doing something, and I think as an adult, I need to be doing something too.
Yeah. Is that how acting came about then? That sort of need to be up and about or performing?
No, that was sort of less intentional, really. My dad was an actor, but he died when I was young, as I said. So I wasn't acquainted with that side of him, if you know what I mean. I never saw him in the theatre or anything. When people die, it's sort of weird. The advice you've got to be grown up now. It's like, but I'm 8. But I wasn't having those thoughts then. But now I look back on it, it was like, so you're the man of the house now. You've got to be very grown up. You go as an 8-year-old. You go, okay,
yeah. Unbeknownst, ahead,
and then you get sent. I got sent away. Maybe wasn't. I don't know if that was a good idea or not. But anyway, it happened.
It happened.
I survived.
Coped with it.
Yeah. When people said, "What are you going to be when you grow up?" and I just sort of said that, and I suppose I was probably needy of attention. Right. As a child, maybe. And then they called my bluff at the secondary school and put me in the plays. I realised I could make people laugh.
Yeah.
And I suppose it all came on from there.
Yeah.
And then I just sort of drifted into it without really knowing what I offered it or it offered me quite clearly. And then a thing happened when I directed a play, an adaptation of The Loneliness of the Long Distance Runner in a pub theatre. And it went really well, and we did a little tour around England of it. And then the British Council picked it up, and they sent us to Nigeria and former Yugoslavia just before the war, just as it was starting in Vukovar, before Sarajevo was a trouble spot. And we turned up with this play that was very powerful and very potent. And I suddenly thought, oh, I see the value of this by watching especially in Nigeria, because we were in universities with students and they loved it. And the next day we'd go back and we'd do a workshop with them and use our set. And it was just, and you saw how they used theatre to discuss politics or feelings and stuff like that. And I thought, oh, actually, it's not just dressing up and prattling around. There's a value to it. And I'm clear with it. I'm okay with it now.
Yeah.
In all its forms, Sometimes it's informative, sometimes it's necessary, sometimes it's a story worth telling, or sometimes it's just funny.
Yeah. But it was the comedy side of it that you enjoyed, was it? Because that seemed to be the route into.
I suppose it's because you can get away with comedy or humour in the real world in a way you can't quite with tragedy. So I suppose I had that. I found that I could work people that way.
Yes,
that's the first.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I don't know how you test the other skills.
Yeah, but it wasn't that sort of serious sort of theatre that you were heading towards. That wasn't the dream for you when you got into it, or was it?
It was. I think it was sort of drilled into me that this is your job now.
Right.
So I never had a kind of what I want to do. I didn't know what I want to be this actor or be Shakespeare, do lots of but you just do what was a job, a gig's a gig, and it as a large part of me, it still is. I have to work for support all this. But so I just sort of bimbled along there, and I did my share of Shakespeare and stuff like that. I think I'm okay with that. And I really like filming stuff. Yeah. I really like it. Yeah. I like the working day. I like the other trades I'm exposed to. Yeah. I like what they do. I understand what they do. I have an interest in photography or whatever. Yeah. I film my bird feeders.
What do you do with the footage from your bird feeders?
I don't know.
It's like
but it's
dogs.
Good. Yeah. Yes, I've got to hide.
Have you?
Yes.
Brilliant. And you just and do you sort of bait them with different feeds to try and get different species in? Or
I've got 21 bird feeders, and I'm nothing at the moment except mealworms, because we're not supposed to be feeding them right now, are we? But I have just peanuts and sunflower hearts, and everybody loves either one or the other of those. Yeah. Even the goldfinches I used to put the Niger seed out for, they love the sunflower hearts.
It's time to tell you a little bit more about our sponsor, Harrington's Dog Food. Now, of course, if you have dogs, they are part of the family, so it's only right that we pay as much attention as to what's going into their bowl as we do with our food. And that is why Harrington's superfood range is made with freshly prepared meat ingredients and boosted with carefully selected superfoods to support your dog's everyday health. Shop the range at harringtonspetfood.com and at leading grocery and pet retailers nationwide. And of course, you've gone off all over the world filming. So again, does that lean back into the world of loving television, loving making TV, and then following your interests with that?
Kind of. There was a thing I did called Man and Beast. Human-animal relationships around the world, for good or bad. Do you know what I mean? And some of them aren't great. So we'll tell that story. There was this monkey picking coconuts in Thailand. He just wanted to fight me. His owner had him on a motorbike. He'd sort of perch on the chained, obviously perched on the sort of sidecar thing like that. And so they've rigged the motorbike with cameras. They wanted us all to be filmed on it, with GoPros and things. Yeah. And then he had to put some petrol in. So we said, we'll do a camera test and I'll sit in and see what the frame's like when we go. We went up to the petrol station. He put the petrol in, and he went inside to pay like that. And I was just looking at that, and the monkey just looked at me. He just went for me like that. Yeah. And then later on, I got a lychee, and I was like, "Oh, do you want?" And he went for me again. And I was talking to the guy. I said, "This is interesting that he's like that." I said, "It's quite often aggression is a fear response in an animal." Yeah. Is that what it is with him? He says, no, he just wants to fight you.
Oh, dear me.
He wasn't a happy monkey. But he could go up that tree and then jump to the next tree, as opposed to a man having to go up and, danger to life and whatever. And he could tell when they were ripe for the picking.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. And so this man, that was his investment, and that was his, but not a great life for that monkey. No. And then we'd film with an elephant in Nepal. And I didn't think I rode the elephant and got a lot of criticism for it, but I ride horses too. I was curious to see, the horse, the elephant was being ridden. I didn't sense that it was, I know a horse, when it's got a job, it likes to do its job. You can feel that, and then it wants to do it better. And I maybe didn't get that sense with the elephant, but then I don't know elephants. But then we took her and we washed her in the river, gave her a big bath and scrubbed her tummy, which felt really nice.
Good.
It felt really good to be close to one, because the first animal film I ever did was as a patron of the Born Free Foundation. We set free an elephant called Nina. We put her in a lorry and moved her through Tanzania, and then set her free.
Oh, wow.
And went back, and she didn't want to go, and then she did, and then she...
she didn't want to leave?
It was a big ask of her. She'd been in a zoo, a lone elephant, very spoilt, for 23 years.
Right.
The owner of this little zoo that was attached to his hotel in near Arusha probably shot her mother. And anyway, but she was really spoilt, really fat, loads of bananas. And he just wanted to get shot of her, really. Yeah. He obviously had an emotional attachment to it. So there was a Clem Kotze, a guy from Zimbabwe who was a hunter, but had this unique hunter's knowledge of animals, and he developed this darting technique. So he darted her, as she went down, they put in a metal plate along her back, and then we rolled her over onto the side of that, and then that got winched in and became the side of a big container that then got righted. But then halfway up, you had to give her the antidote to the tranquilizer so she didn't flop down when she was up straight. Then she got cross. And then she got cross, and then she went and then she was on like a container lorry like that for about 200 kilometers, and we were having to get off with long sticks and lift up the electricity lines to get the thing under it. Right. And we made this lovely film for the BBC, and so she got acclimatized in a boma. This was a guy called Tony Fitzjohn, who used to live with George Adamson out at Kora in Kenya with the lions and setting them free and all of that. And he'd started this place called Mkomazi in Tanzania that he had a wild dog breeding program and a rhino program and just a sort of conservationist. And we took him, Nina, and she was in this boma there to acclimatize to his red soil and to get her weight down a bit. And then we went back to film with her and opened it up, and of course she wouldn't budge. Of course she wouldn't.
Oh, bless her.
But then she did eventually.
Did she? Yeah.
And then she disappeared.
Oh.
And then she reappeared with a calf called Johnny Wilkinson.
Brilliant.
They auctioned the naming of the calf off.
Did they? Oh, Philippa has just gone past with a horse.
Who's that? Oh, there's B.
Yeah.
She's retired too. But we had a nice foal out of her last year.
Oh, they've got a little Shetland pony going past as well now.
There goes Timmy.
How old's Timmy?
Timmy's 31.
Oh, what an innings.
Yeah, I know. He's amazing. He's got the funniest little trot on him.
Oh. We had a beautiful Shetland pony. There he is. That's Beano.
Beano.
Back in
Mini.
the day. Yeah.
Mini, yeah.
Absolutely beautiful.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
They're funny little things, aren't they?
Yeah.
How old did he get to?
He got to 30, amazing. I want to say 36. Yeah, he was beautiful. I mean, amazing in the wintertime with his coat. And
icicles.
Yeah, just absolutely incredible.
Someone's farted.
Yes, I think is that you, John?
Yeah.
That is quite, in a warm caravan, John, that is, honestly, mate, come on. What are you playing at? Speaking of which, do you think we should do the Petcast quiz? Here we go then. So in 1945, a chicken from Colorado in the US became known as Miracle Mike. What was miraculous about him?
Did he pick winning football teams?
No.
No.
This is incredible, Martin. Miracle Mike became famous because he actually lived for 18 months after his head had been cut off.
Awkward.
Yeah. Farmer Lloyd tried to slaughter the chicken in 1945. The axe missed most of Mike's brainstem and one ear, leaving enough of his nervous system intact to keep his body functioning, making him a worldwide sensation in 1945.
Blimey.
Yeah. There's now an annual Mike the Headless Chicken Day in Colorado, held on the third weekend of every May, if you're interested. There you go, John.
Wow.
True or false? Cats can taste sugar, but not salt.
Oh, I have no idea. I'll say true.
They can taste salt, but not sweetness. The other way around. Unlike humans and dogs,
that was
cats.
A trap.
Yeah, it was. Ready for the next one? What's unusual about how Barbara Streisand came to own her two dogs, Miss Violet and Miss Scarlet? Any idea?
No idea.
This is bonkers. This is proper Hollywood. Think proper Hollywood. If you had a dog that you loved so much and you were like...
Oh, did she clone them or something?
Yeah, that's it. The unusual thing is that they aren't just related to a previous dog. They were actually clones of her previous dog. After a beloved 14-year-old Cotton de Toulier, Samantha died in 2017. Barbara Streisand had cells taken from Samantha's mouth and stomach. Before her death, those cells were used to create two cloned puppies, who she named Miss Violet and Miss Scarlet. Incredible.
Yes. I'm not sure how I feel about that.
No, me neither. You like this one, John. Which of these three things can rabbits physically not do? Vomit, sneeze, or fart?
I'm going to say fart.
Rabbits cannot vomit.
Oh, horses can't either.
Well, yeah, it's all due to their anatomy, specifically a very tight one-way sphincter between the esophagus and the stomach. There we are. Okay, next one. Ready? John's trying to get the answers. Last question, if you can let me speak, please. Which unusual and potentially dangerous pet did Lord Byron keep in his room while studying at Trinity College in Cambridge?
A python.
It wasn't. It was a brown bear.
Oh, yes. I think I had heard that.
Yeah, he kept a tame brown bear called Brune at Cambridge in 1805 when the university authorities told him he was not allowed to keep a dog on campus. So instead,
he got a bear.
He got a bear. There you are. That was the Petcast quiz. You're yawning. You've had enough. Well, John doesn't want the Petcast to end, do you? You don't want the Petcast to end. Thank you very much indeed for your company. You've been wonderful to stroke, great to talk to.
And a little bit of French kissing.
And there we go. On that note, we should finish this, don't you think, mate? Yeah, that is it for the Petcast for this week. If you've enjoyed it and you'd like to listen to more, then please do follow us from wherever you get your podcasts from. From all of us here, Martin, thank you, mate. It's been a pleasure, really.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good to have you here.
Oh, that's it, mate. We're done. Wagons roll. We've got to get back on the road.
John, you're weird.